Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Wednesday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. and we are here for our regular commission business meeting that has been rescheduled to Wednesday instead of Thursday due to a hearing tomorrow. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. With us virtually, we have Commissioner Thomas. Present in the hearing room, we have Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Carolee Williams, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser. Before we begin today's agenda, I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair Powers, and Commissioners. First item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be set for Thursday, June 13th, 2024 at 2 o'clock p.m.
Our next regularly scheduled business meeting will be set for Thursday, June 13th at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Today we have 11 items on the utilities agenda and 7 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2017-15C. This is a request from Frontier Communications of the Carolinas, LLC, for confidential treatment of the interruption of service report filed with the Federal Communications Commission and accepted for processing by the Public Service Commission on May the 8th, 2024.
With regard to utilities agenda item 1, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the request of Frontier Communications of Carolinas LLC for confidential treatment of its confidential interruption of service report filed with the Federal Communications Commission. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I failed to note at the beginning of the hearing that Commissioner Justin Williams is on military leave and is not participating in today's meeting. And I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 2 appears in dockets numbered 2004-54C and 2024-96C. This is a motion from the Office of Regulatory Staff for a default judgment and order revoking the certificate of Comtech 21 LLC for failure to answer.
With regard to utilities agenda item 2, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the motion of the Office of Regulatory Staff for a default judgment and order revoking certificate of Comtech 21 LLC for failure to answer.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2024-154C. This item involves the appointment of a hearing examiner in this docket.
With regard to utilities agenda item 3, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission appoint Attorney David Stark, Esquire, as hearing examiner.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2024-89E. This is a motion from Stratus Network Incorporated for expedited review of its application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide local exchange telecommunications services in South Carolina, a motion for protective treatment of Exhibit 3 in its application, and a request for cancellation of the hearing set for May 30th, 2024.
With regard to utilities agenda item 3, is there a motion? I'm sorry, 4.
Madam Chair.
I think it's 4. I apologize. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant Stratus Networks Incorporated's motion for expedited review of the application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide competing local exchange telecommunication services in the state of South Carolina and approve the application. I also move that the commission grant the motion for protective treatment of Exhibit 3 to the application, thereby designating Exhibit 3 as confidential. Finally, I move that the hearing scheduled for May 30, 2024 be canceled.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in docket number 2023-390E. This is the application from Duke Energy Progress LLC for a proposed residential tariffed on-bill pilot program.
With regard to utilities agenda item 5, I can't count today. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers.
thank you. I move the commission set the procedural schedule for Duke Energy Progress LLC's application concerning the proposed residential service tariffed on-bill pilot program as follows. Applicant complainant petitioner direct testimony due June 14, 2024. All other parties and ORS direct testimony due July 15, 2024. Rebuttal testimony due July 29, 2024. Surrebuttal testimony due August 5th, 2024, and the hearing scheduled for 8/15/2024. I further move the staff be allowed to amend this schedule as needed. So move.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Vice Chair.
Madam Chair, this is sooner than I think the original schedule, but there seems to be some conflicts, and this seems the best way to resolve those conflicts.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I was gonna mention that our calendar is filling up, and we need to go ahead and get this matter scheduled for hearing. And I recognize as well that this is not the proposed schedule. And there were even some discussions of perhaps doing what we would call a paper hearing based on there. But we need to go ahead and get a hearing date secured, and that's why I'll be supporting your motion for this schedule.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2024-34E. This is a motion for admission pro hoc vici of John Joseph McNutt, Esquire, filed on behalf of the United States Department of Defense and other federal executive agencies.
With regard to utilities agenda item 6, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of the United States Department of Defense and all other federal executive agencies for admission pro hoc vici of John Joseph McNutt, Esquire, in this docket.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2024-27WS. This is a request from CSWR, South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for confidential treatment of Exhibit 5 in Josiah Cox's direct testimony.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 7, identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you very much. I move that the commission grant the request of CSWR, South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for confidential treatment of Exhibit 5 to Josiah Cox's direct testimony.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in docket number 2005-83A. This item involves documents that the parties must file with the commission for consideration of motions pro hoc vici.
Commissioners, we've heard Utilities Agenda Item 8 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
the commission has not been receiving motions or completed applications for pro hoc vici admissions of attorneys to appear in cases before the commission. Numerous times, the commission has only received a letter from the clerk of the Supreme Court of South Carolina advising that the Office of Bar Admissions has received the verified application of the attorney seeking pro hoc vici admission in a docket. To provide the commission with notice that an attorney is seeking pro hoc vici admission to appear in a matter before the commission, I move that the commission require parties and attorneys seeking for approval to be admitted pro hoc vici must file with the commission a copy of the motion and application submitted to the Supreme Court pursuant to Rule 404D of the South Carolina Appellate Court Rules. Thereafter, in accordance with Rule 404E, the clerk of the South Carolina Supreme Court will by letter certify to the tribunal in which a pro hoc vici appearance has been requested that the application form and fee, if applicable, has been received by the Supreme Court. I move that the motion for pro hoc vici admission will not be disposed of by the commission until the commission receives all of the materials required by Rule 404. As set forth above, I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Thomas, I'll be supporting your motion. When we received the letter from the Supreme Court without a motion or the application being filed here, it tells us the docket number, but sometimes it does not. The letter from the Supreme Court doesn't specify which party that the attorney seeking pro hoc vici admission may be representing. Sometimes we can figure it out, but we need to see the application and the motion to admit, because the rule also allows the tribunal, if necessary, to hold a hearing before granting the admission. So we need the materials so that we can make a proper determination. So thank you for your motion today. Commissioners, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2024-157C. This involves the appointment of a hearing examiner in this docket.
Commissioners, we've heard Utilities Agenda Item 9 identified. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission appoint attorney Sandra Moser Esquire as hearing examiner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2023-242E. This is a petition for Mr. Johnny Hedwin for reconsideration and rehearing.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 10, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
on May 14th, 2024, Mr. Hedwin submitted correspondence to the clerk's office requesting a hearing on his residential service. The commission treated this correspondence as a petition for rehearing and reconsideration of order number 2024-337 entered on May the 9th, 2024. On May the 20th, 2024, Duke Energy Progress filed a letter in opposition to Mr. Hedlund's petition. Mr. Hedlund's petition states that it is based on residential service rates that didn't get approved. Mr. Hedlund previously argued his position that DEP charged him unapproved rates at the hearing on this matter, and the Commission thoroughly addressed the argument in order number 2024-337 by outlining each of the bills Mr. Hedlund submitted, comparing them to the residential rate schedules in effect for each billing period, and identifying the Commission's past orders approving the rates contained in each of the schedules. Mr. Hedlund does not identify any alleged error contained in the Commission's order or any other grounds that would warrant a rehearing and/or reconsideration of the Commission's order. Instead, he only reasserts his position that DEP charged unapproved rates. Because the petition fails to identify any alleged error in the Commission's order, and because the petition merely attempts to relitigate an issue that the Commission considered and addressed in order number 2024-337, I move that the Commission deny the petition for reconsideration and rehearing. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Madam Chair, I think
Oh,
I
you
will
not-
not participate in this.
Commissioner Caston
I
is
won't be able to
not
vote.
voting. Thank you. And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 appears in docket number 2024-48E. This is a request from Mrs. Doris Hedwin for a hearing subsequent to the issuance of the Commission directive dated May 16th, 2024.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item number 11, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
on May 16th, 2024, following a motion and vote during a regularly scheduled Commission business meeting, the Commission issued a directive granting Duke Energy Progress LLC's motion to dismiss the complaint filed by Ms. Hedwin. On May 17th, 2024, Ms. Hedwin submitted an email requesting a hearing. The directive was not issued as a directive order and does not constitute an order of the Commission. A full written order explaining the Commission's decision is being prepared pursuant to that directive and will be issued by the Commission. To the extent that the email is a request for rehearing, I move that the Commission dismiss the request for rehearing or hearing filed by Ms. Hedwin as untimely. This dismissal is without prejudice as to any party's right to file a petition seeking reconsideration or rehearing following the issuance of the Commission's written order addressing the issues described in the May 16th, 2024 directive. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye, and the motion carries.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it appropriate for Commissioner Thomas to vote on this? Did we have this hearing?
We haven't had a hearing. It was a motion to dismiss.
Right, right. But it's a decision related to okay. I just want to be sure. We did have a hearing and.
We did not have a hearing on this complaint. There was a motion to dismiss that
That-
was granted. And we
Okay.
received an email asking for a hearing, but we haven't issued the order yet.
Okay,
And the order needs to be issued before.
understood,
Okay.
understood.
And the order needs to be issued so that if the party wants to file a petition for rehearing or reconsideration, they need to do so. And the order will specify the statute and the regulation that what must be complied with for a proper petition for reconsideration.
And I understand that part. My question was because Commissioner Thomas wasn't a part of the vote last week, whether he could participate in this vote as well. And it
He
looks like
can,
from our
he
attorneys he
can.
can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, in Part A, we have one request to withdraw an application. Item A1 appears in docket number 2024-73T. This is a request from Kiowa Island Inn Company, LLC, doing business as Kiowa Island Golf Resort, to withdraw its application for a Class C charter bus certificate.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item A1, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Kiowa Island Inn Company LLC doing business as Kiowa Island Golf Resort to withdraw their application for Class C charter bus certificate and rescind commission order number 2024-192.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have one request to amend a certificate. Item B1 is in docket number 2022-393T. This is a request from Happy Fleet Transport Solutions, LLC, to amend Class C certificate number 9791 to read Happy Fleet Solutions, LLC, doing business as Happy Fleet Transport Solutions.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item B1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission grant the request of Happy Fleet Transport Solutions LLC to amend its Class C non-emergency certificate number 9791 to read Happy Fleet Solutions LLC, doing business as Happy Fleet Transport Solutions.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
I vote aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have one request to amend an application. Item C1 is in docket number 2024-19T. This is a request from KB Transportation Service to amend its application for a Class C non-emergency certificate to read KRB Transportation Service.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item C1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of KB Transportation Service to amend its application for Class C non-emergency certificate to read KRB Transportation Service. I note as part of the motion that the applicant's Class C non-emergency certificate number 9929 was issued by the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff on May 15, 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have four requests for extensions of time. Item D1 appears in docket number 2024-65T. This is a request from LTD Transport Services, LLC, for a 12-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item D1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of LTD Transport Services LLC for an extension of time until March 6, 2025 to comply with the commission rules and regulations. This extension represents 12 months from the directive order date granting the company's application for Class C non-emergency certificate. If the company fails to come into compliance with commission rules and regulations by March 6, 2025, no further extension will be granted. However, the company is not precluded from filing a new application at that time. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item D2 is in docket number 1997-431T. This is a request from Betty Ann McCray for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item D2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
Class C taxi certificate number 6551 is issued to Betty Ann McCray. On May 13th, 2024, the commission received a request from Travis McCray as grantor for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. As it is not clear what position Mr. McCray holds in relation to the motor carrier, I hereby direct Betty Ann McCray to provide clarification to the commission as to Travis McCray's position with respect to the motor carrier and his authority to make the request for the 3-month extension in this docket. The commission will hold the request for a 3-month extension in abeyance until the commission receives the requested clarification.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item D3 is in docket number 2024-32T. This is a request from Vermilion Cypress Non-Emergency Transport, LLC, for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item D3, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Vermilion Cypress Non-Emergency Medical Transport, LLC, for a 9-month extension of time until February 14th, 2025, to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item D4 appears in docket number 2024-47T. This is a request from Higher Standards Transportation, LLC, for a 1-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item D4, do I hear a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Higher Standards Transportation, LLC, for a 1-month extension of time until June 14th, 2024, to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As noted earlier, our next regularly scheduled business meeting is scheduled for Thursday, June 13th, 2024 at 2 p.m. With that, I wish everyone a happy or good afternoon and have a safe Memorial Day weekend, and we are adjourned. Thank you.